is nothing wrong with your podcast streaming service. We now control your device. This is not a test. This is Podcast of the Paranormal. Close your curtains and stay away from your windows. Lock your doors, turn off your lights. Get your snacks and drinks ready. Get to your basement or attic. The podcast is about to begin.
Hey everyone, welcome to Podcast of the Paranormal. I'm here with Gabrielle.
Hello.
We just finished up Creature Feature Weekend, and that was an experience.
It was definitely an experience, our first vendor show.
Didn't really fit.
No,
so we learned our lesson with that, but we met a lot of cool people.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That was worth it.
Vendors were great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So who did you get to meet when you were there?
I met Lachlan Monroe, who I was really excited when they announced him from Dead Men on Campus. And I got to meet Brian Van Holt from House of Wax. Mm-hmm. He played Vincent and Bo, the brothers in House of Wax. Then I also met Bill Moseley. Yeah. Which was pretty cool.
Yeah, from the zombie movies.
Yeah,
the
House
Rob
of
Zombie
a Thousand
movies,
Corpses.
Yeah. He was totally unrecognizable too, by the way. Like I couldn't, without the beard, I just couldn't see it. I couldn't put it together.
Yeah. All the celebrities were super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were incredibly nice.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, I walked up to Bill Moseley, and I was like, hey, what's going on? He's like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
So they really made themselves accessible, you know what I mean?
And my favorite thing about Creature Feature will always be how easy it is to have access to the celebrities.
Yeah.
Like, we went in March to Gettysburg. That's typically where Creature Feature is. The one in Scranton is kind of their first time trying it out here.
Yeah, I met Tommy Chong there. That was cool.
Yeah. So that was our first experience with Creature Feature. And it was like, there's a lot of people there, but when you're going to meet the celebrities, you're not waiting in line for a long time,
right,
which is really nice. We do an event in Connecticut, CT Horror Fest, which is usually around the end of September every year.
Oh, yeah. You got to plan your whole day out.
Yeah. And you're in line for hours waiting for people. So this is really nice.
Yeah. So you guys are getting a glimpse into our lives a little bit.
Yeah.
Gabrielle has me going to some horror conventions now. CT Horror Fest is really cool. It is a neat event.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah. But Creature Feature, I agree. It's a lot more personal. You know what I mean? You could really get in there and you don't have to waste your day in a line, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I love it. Like, I literally walked into the room. I had snuck peeks, like, probably half an hour before I just walked in and, like, looked in the room. When they opened it, I just, like, peeked around and looked, and I was like, oh, my God, there's nobody in here. And then when I had gone for myself to meet everybody, it was the same thing. I was able to just walk right up to the celebrities. There was no line, able to meet them, which is really nice. And I also kind of feel like that's nice for them too, because they're not like just going all day long, like next. You know, they have like a break in between people and they could kind of like relax, decompress.
I kind of felt bad. I kind of sent you on your own there because they kept messing up my food order that day.
Yeah, that's okay. It was fun. Plus, you didn't want to meet anybody, you said.
Yeah, I was able to just walk up to their tables and say, hey, what's up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's his name was there? John Russo, one of the writers for Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
There. He's aged. I mean, he's old now, but he was one of the nicest guys there. He's walking up, talking to everybody. He was one of the first celebrities I met, and he's just walking by and saying hi to all the vendors he knew.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing these conventions for a long time now, you know?
Oh, man, he was such a nice guy.
He knew some of the vendors by name. It was cool.
Yeah.
And we met a lot of the vendors, too. We had a nice, we had a guy next to us, he's a real character. What was his name? Horror Show Jack? Is that
what he does fangs.
Yeah.
He does personalized fangs. They're really cool. And he does like, I don't know what he calls them, but they're bears, but they have like really cool, like, horror faces.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
they're really
he like
cool.
cuts the faces out and he puts a new face on them. Yeah. So they had like, like It, the clown form of it.
Yeah, they had a Mothman.
Yep, yeah.
They had Skeletor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
and
really cool.
He does a really good Skeletor impression, too.
He does,
The meme Skeletor.
Yeah, he was really cool.
Remember!
That was actually pretty good.
Well, it was my first time.
Yeah. Yeah, he was pretty cool. We were next to him for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And then we were next to the vendor who is doing our interview today.
who sold me an awesome Hobbit vinyl.
Yeah.
The Rankin Bass vinyl. I mean, this thing was, I didn't even care. I knew it was used. The cover's a little beat up, but the artwork on the inside was, oh my God, it was perfect. I bought it for the art.
Yeah, it was cool.
I don't even have a record player. Well, a functional one anyway.
No, you just love The Hobbit. Like when I bought my Vincent Price record.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just want it.
Oh, the one where he's
the witchcraft recording. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a lot of fun talking to people. We had a lot of people walking up to the booth. We were handing out stickers and magnets and trying to promote the podcast. And we had a lot of stories. But we didn't have a lot of people that wanted to come on the show. They didn't want to be recorded.
Yeah, not a lot of people wanted to put it on record.
And that's not a problem for us. If you want to give us a fake name, or I'm sure we could do something with changing the pitch of the voice.
Yeah, if you don't want to come on the show, you could just tell us your story and we can present it.
Or maybe they thought it was a video podcast. I could see that. A lot of people don't like to get on video.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So yeah, it was a good time. One of the vendors next to us, he kept coming up to me and telling me, little bits and pieces of his experience with the paranormal. By the second day, towards the middle of the day, end of the day, I think it was, I said, listen, why don't you come on, give us an interview, you know what I mean? Tell us your stories. You got some pretty interesting stories. And yeah, he agreed to it.
Really interesting stories. This is a fantastic interview.
Yeah, it really was.
I would love to investigate with him too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's into it. He's definitely into the ghost hunting.
And we had Jeff with us for the event.
We did have Jeff with us.
He had a good weekend too.
He's not here for the editing magic to start the intro up here, but
no.
I'm glad you brought that up. When you hear the interview, it was all three of us sitting at the table, and then it started getting really busy at one point, right in the middle of the interview. And we did the interview by the third day. At that point, you could hear it in my voice. I already had the con crud at that point. I couldn't breathe out of my nose. Mm-hmm. But at one point, it was just me and Jeff.
Yeah, for most of the interview, I think it was just the two of you.
Yeah, it was the two of us. Because Gabrielle got up and she was distributing stickers and talking to people and giving our information away. We had a little placard there with the QR code on it so people could get to our site.
It was a fun weekend.
Thanks for that, Gabrielle.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next time, it's my turn.
I don't know if we do. Well, we are scheduled to do another vendor fair, so I shouldn't say. I don't know if we do one again.
No.
Because
let's not talk about that just yet. That's a while off.
Yeah, next year.
I need some time to decompress, so.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I like doing them local. I don't think I'd want to travel.
No.
Especially if they're multiple days.
Maybe if it's a big podcast convention that's somewhat close.
Or like a paranormal convention versus a horror convention.
No regrets. I loved it. It was a good
fun.
time, yeah. She's spending a lot of money for...
And if you haven't, if you live local, if you've considered going to Creature Feature and you haven't, you should definitely check it out. This is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Next one is in Gettysburg?
Yeah, in March of 2026.
Yeah, we'll probably hit that up.
Yeah, they have awesome vendors. They get really cool celebrities. Some of them are like really well known and some of them are obscure, like people that you would never meet somewhere else that you get the opportunity to meet at these conventions, and it's great.
You're there for the celebrities. You like that stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
Not so much. I kind of like the old, like the old physical media. Some of the stuff you can't find, online or in a store. These vendors sometimes have it, so I'm there for the vendors.
I'm trying to think who we met in Gettysburg last year. Tommy Chong, like you said.
Yeah, Gettysburg is a little bigger.
Yeah,
they have more, but they've been doing it there for years, right? So
yeah.
That was Jeff that actually introduced us to that.
It was, yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Now we're hooked.
Got to get him to CT Horror Fest now.
Yeah, we got to get him to our Horror Fest.
All right, Gab, what do you think? Roll the interview?
Yeah.
All right, let's get going.
Hi, I'm Neil. I'm from the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area, and coming to here to do a podcast on some of my experiences I've had and what could be paranormal. I like to try to debunk stuff when I'm, if I've ever been at an investigation or if things happen around me. So
yeah, that's me. Mm-hmm. Right, Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not everything is a ghost, Jeff.
One of the earliest things that's ever happened to me was my dad's he's a retired pastor now, so we've moved around to different areas. And one of the areas we lived in was Mechanicsburg. And I was probably only between 6 to 8 years old. And the bedroom that I slept in, all the time I had nightmares in it. So I finally just asked my parents if I could move into another bedroom. Once I did, I never had those. And it was like weird stuff. It was like Bert and Ernie coming to like come and kill me and stuff. So it's like not normal stuff.
We finally got one. That someone's experiencing the kids show thing.
Yeah.
And I would be like seeing images too, like but once they moved me out of that room, nothing. So
that's crazy. Yeah, we've heard stories of people like SpongeBob type entities.
That's creepy.
But yeah, when Bert's coming after you with like a knife, and I'm like, I've never, and at that time I've never watched horror movies or anything, so having an image of like that, it's kind of daunting for a kid.
Yeah,
like, I don't know why.
Yeah, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it wasn't until we moved to Manchester, so it's probably in the late 80s. And at that time, when we were, again, since my dad's a pastor, a lot of times the home that we lived in is attached right to the church, or it's like there's a parking lot, but the house is there and the church is there. So it was during the winter, and lots of snow, so there's nobody's coming to the church or anything, and I'm one of the youth leaders at the church at the time, and we're doing a Noah's Ark mural in the basement of the church. So I'm going down there and I'm starting to paint. So it's a good time to do it because there's nobody around and I can, and I'm down there and I'm starting hearing music. And I'm hearing like a harpsichord and I'm hearing organ. So first I thought, okay, so maybe the organist is here practicing. I don't know why. There's like a foot of snow out there, but So I go upstairs to look around, and I know our choir director also has a harpsichord in their thing because it's like the best way to tune up. It has the best tone and everything. And there's no music playing. And like, there's nobody else. I walked the whole church. I'm starting to get like goosebumpy. When I'm realizing this, I go back down, and it's quiet again. And then probably about another 15 minutes, it starts again. I said, okay, this is a little too weird. So then I grab all the paint. I'm like, okay, I got to come back another day. But that was my second time. And then
it's interesting because churches to us are like there's a lot of energy there, right?
Right.
Well, there's a lot there. Like,
I mean, if you think about it truly, like organized religion in the way that we know it is very ritualistic.
Yes.
So it would make sense that you would have this like residual energy, like of different people, of different rituals, of different things like that just kind of hangs out there.
Yeah, it might not even be a ghost per se. It could just be something it's like a recording, right, in the space.
Well, the next thing I thought, like, because it even sounded like it was coming from the speakers, because each one of the rooms has speakers, but there's nothing connected to it. And I asked my dad about it. We never had a talk about ghosts or anything like that. And I asked him, "Do you ever hear anything in the church? Or is there anything weird that's ever happened in church?" Because I'm here thinking there's funerals and stuff that happen. So I don't know. And he said, and he brought it because I didn't tell him what happened, and he's like, yeah, every once in a while I'll hear organ music.
Really?
Right?
That's
and I'll go out like expecting to
very
see
much.
the organist there because we had a couple organists. And there's nobody there, and the music's not playing anymore.
They're just sneaking in and practicing.
Yeah. So, he said that's really the only thing he ever had. Sometimes he said like the door will open, but then I could debunk that because if you open one door from the church, it does cause air pressure.
Yeah.
So I know that, but I'm like, no, I heard harpsichord music and I heard organ music. So.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. We've had situations like that too, where we've had doors move. We're like, oh my God, what was that? And then when you put two and two together, there's an air pressure imbalance, and as soon as you shut another door, it kind of pulls that air in. That little bit of air from the door to the jamb is just enough to move.
And that's like I watch a lot of like some of the paranormal videos and stuff, and when there's never any debunking, and you're seeing like cabinet doors open and stuff like that, and however they have the angle, it's like, okay, are they using string? Is it fake? Or is it air conditioning coming on? You know, if it's like just like a regular door. That, you know, so it's
what is
different stuff.
what is the cast and crew doing around? You don't see them; they're behind the cameras. They
Right.
see, you know, they could be interacting with stuff, and you don't know.
You never know.
Yeah. So the next biggest thing that happened to me was I used to do door-to-door sales.
Mm-hmm.
So this would have been 1999, 2000, because I was about ready to get married the next year, and we went to our company like sister area up in New York. They had invited us up because they were having trouble trying to meet their quota, so we had gone up to help them. And while we were up there, they had asked us if we were interested in going to one of the oldest cemeteries in New York. Mm-hmm. And this is when I just remember everything because it was so weird. So like the wrought iron fences to the graveyard are probably just a little bit above your knee. It's like you can just like step over it.
Yeah,
Nothing really stopping you. But you parked. There was no like parking spot, so you just kind of parked and you walked in. And even when you first get into the graveyard, there's just like a flat slab where there's some names and stuff on it, and then there's a hill that goes up. And we went up the hill and kind of sat on some benches that are up there, and we were looking down. It was probably like midnight or something like that. And we were just talking about what we do and just, you know, shitting around and stuff.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we look down, and there's a mist where this big cement or whatever slab is, and it's like moving up towards us. And we're like, and it's not like spreading out or anything. It's not like a fog or anything.
So
we're
it's more
kind
like
of
more like a mass.
Yeah. But it was a big mass.
Yeah.
So I would say like 10 by 20.
Okay.
But
Really?
massive of it. So, and it's thick. I mean, you can still kind of see through it to like see stuff behind it or stuff, but it's not, there's no form to it other than it's like,
Would you say it's
white
self-contained? Like it had its own body, basically.
Yeah, because when we finally decided, okay, why don't we? Maybe it's time to get out of here. We started walking. Where the way we came in is where it was, so we decided to find another way to go around. Mm-hmm. And it was. I was the last person, of course. There's probably a group of like 8 of us. And everything always seems to happen to me. Other than those first couple, it's always groups.
Right.
But when we were walking out, it's like a wooded trail that kind of circles around the graveyard.
Okay.
And it's following us. And it's not spreading out into the brush or something. It's
That's
staying on
what
the
I was
trail
getting at. It's
right behind us. So
Wow. Okay.
it was... Yeah, and that's what really freaked me out, because I was a person in the back. I'm like, okay, guys, let's keep it going. Because it's like, this isn't fog. It's not spreading out across an area. It's just literally like a 10 by 20, like, thing falling.
just moving.
Yeah.
The whole mass.
There's
is
no
moving at
mass.
once.
There's no, like,
It's
form,
not
human
dissipating.
form.
It's not. Yeah. I
Right,
get it.
exactly.
Okay.
And it's not like swirling, like if, you run through fog or something, the air, your air, it's just following you.
At this time, were you like feeling like just like a presence, kind of like
Yeah,
almost
kind of like
on your shoulders, or just like
it wasn't like, it's not like evil or anything, but it's like, you're not supposed to be here. Let's kind of just. It's time to go
you
type
felt like it was
feeling.
Okay.
it was
Yes.
pacing you out.
Yeah,
almost,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, we've definitely had that. Yeah, we have a place we call the church, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a local place, and we have the same experience. We've seen stuff up there. We've experienced stuff up there.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
And every time we go up there, when we're leaving, it seems like we're getting paced out.
Yes.
Like, hey guys, it's time to leave. When the activity really starts going off, it really starts going.
Yeah.
Gabrielle actually gets a little. She gets a little nervous, and she's like, "You know what, guys? I think it's time to leave."
Yeah,
So-
it is. Like when you are walking out from that, you definitely feel like
Yeah.
something. You just keep turning around to see if something's following you.
You got eyeballs in the back of your head. It feels like, well, not on the back of my head, but it feels like something's watching.
Yeah,
you know what I
something's
mean?
definitely following you out. It's creepy.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's something like that when you can just visually, like, I can still visualize all of that happening. We're just walking through. It's just like a little wooded path through the graveyard, and that just following you.
It left an imprint on you.
Yeah. And then,
so back to the fog, the mass,
yes.
right? Could you explain it some more? Was there a color to it? Was there any light?
It was like more like a fog type thing. You know, it was white and slight gray to it. But like I said, it wasn't like swirling or anything.
Right.
It was just kind of moving slowly, following us. You know, like. But like I said, it was so weird because it wasn't like none of it was like swishing out to the sides or anything. It was just like almost like a block of ice.
Okay.
Kind of like, you know, if you sit it out and there's like steam or something, that's kind of like it was.
Like dry ice.
Like dry ice.
Yeah, dried ice.
So it kind of just lingered on low to the ground, sort of.
And again, it wasn't like the height of a human or anything. So it was just.
Did it eventually stop following you guys, like to the point where you were like felt safe?
When we got close to the exit to where our cars were, when we came back around, back to like you loop around, it's back to that large slab of cement on the ground. It kind of stopped there because that's another time when we're just like, okay, there.
Yeah.
It's like it just wants us to go.
Yeah,
It wants us to go. It's not coming any further or anything. So, yeah, I just can remember because when we went back to the hotel that we're at, we were just talking about that, and that's like. It's almost like that was like the weirdest thing.
Yeah,
and of course,
everybody talks about it.
And
It's like, did you see what? Have you seen the same thing I was seeing?
Yeah, they did. But it's like I just wanted to move faster because I was the one that was on the tail end of it. It's like, why am I on the
Well, it's
back?
funny because I know why Jeff's asking that. Did we all see the same thing? Because a lot of times we will have a group experience, and not everybody experiences it the same way.
It's always different in different ways. Some ways,
Well, when we were having the conversation, we were sitting up on the benches looking down at it because right before the fog happened, the group that we were with, they were talking about, oh, we were here before and we saw like fairies and stuff like we were just like, okay, you're just full of crap and stuff. and then when all of a sudden, we're talking, we look back down and there's fog down there. I'm like, well, it's not fairies, but that's not quite right because it's not.
Yeah.
It's not fog.
Right. No, I'd have to read up on that too and dig into that, see if there's anything fairy lore around that. Yeah. I'm not really up on the fairy lore stuff. You know what I mean?
Me
It's
either.
not my thing, but I have drawn some connections between some of our experiences and the Fae. The very little bit that I do know about the Fae. So we've heard bells in the woods and stuff like that, and they say that that's them trying to get your attention, trying to lure you. Lights in the woods, we've had that experience too. We've had self-illuminating lights in the woods.
Yeah.
They say that may be related to the will-wisps or the Fae, and you're not supposed to follow those into the woods,
And that was part of the experience that I had in Gettysburg.
Oh yeah.
I went to the George.
That was
Spangler.
a nice little natural segue.
Yeah,
I like that.
when with the George Spangler farm, it was supposed to be the largest field hospital during the Civil War. When everybody was leaving, those that were wounded, they had stopped there. And we had gone with Cress Fleming, who was from Psychic Kids. It was from Phenom. It was a convention, and he wasn't even. We didn't even know he was coming. He just kind of showed up on his own after we were there for a little bit. But my sister and I, there's a barn, a huge barn, and then there's a field, and that was the field where they took care of the soldiers and stuff. And then there was the farmhouse, and we were over on the left side of the barn looking towards the woods and stuff, and we saw...
I have to say, I love your attention to detail, too. This is fantastic.
And we saw what we thought were lightning bugs.
Okay.
But, and when you were talking about, like, the lights and stuff, it wasn't like lightning bugs.
What time of year was it? Could you tell me? There's a reason why I'm asking.
Yeah, there is.
I'm not going to know for sure. I want to say it might have been Like, I know it
You can give me a
wasn't
season.
cold.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, I want to say it was like maybe May. Maybe.
It's a little early. A little early for lightning bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because they come out. It's everybody. I don't know. I shouldn't say everybody knows this. The way I know it, the lightning bugs come out around Father's Day, right? So it's like that second, third week of June, maybe towards the end, depending on the year, right?
Yeah, because I remember it was warm enough that we weren't wearing jackets. Because we were. And just my sister and I said, that's just weird. They're not moving like fireflies. And we weren't even thinking anything like will-o'-the-wisp or anything like that.
Right.
And it wasn't until Chris Fleming came, and because he made a connection with an elemental that was there. And the first thing he said, this isn't good, because usually elementals don't like talking to humans. They don't like dealing with humans. So he took a moment, like he was adjusting himself, and then he was kind of talking to the elementals, but then also talking to us what was going on. Because he's saying there's elementals, some people know them as pixies and stuff. They look like lights, and that's when it connected to us. So my sister and I, we kind of looked at one another, and I'm getting shivers now. and like, is that what we saw? We're like elementals or will-o'-the-wisp or something like that. And
how did they move? Do you mind me asking?
it was more like almost like a swirl.
Okay.
Or something. It wasn't like where they're blinking off and on. It was more like steady, and you kind of see like a swirl of it.
Yeah.
But it was like in a distance. I don't want to say distance, but it was far enough that the lightning bugs weren't close. There weren't any lightning bugs around us. So it was that. And usually when you see lightning bugs in the field, they're kind of like all over the place.
And they move different too. They light up, they illuminate, and then they trail off as they're going away.
Right. Yeah. And this is more almost like a swirl.
Yeah. Like vertical, would they move vertical? Like
I would say like kind of like sideways and up and around.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah. That's we've experienced that. Yeah.
And so then, as he was talking to the elemental, we look down and there's a little Tinkerbell figure that's sitting on the ground.
What we call that?
Nobody noticed it.
We call that a synchronicity. That is pretty wild.
Yeah. And I was actually recording him. This is the one part I was actually recording him. And as he picks up the Tinkerbell, and he's going, is this anybody's Tinkerbell? Because he said sometimes elementals will form something or something.
Yeah, in a
like
port.
that.
Yeah.
So he was talking about that a little bit, and then, but then Chris started to say, they're going to let me go ahead because they're soldiers and stuff still here. They don't want them here anymore, so they're going to let me send them on their way to heaven or wherever. And that's when, this is probably around 1 in the morning, and as he's saying that they're starting to walk to the light, the soldiers, all of a sudden birds are chirping.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like loud. It's like almost like, birds don't chirp it in the middle of the night, and it was like you're in the middle of the day.
I have heard the birds at night in Gettysburg. So I don't know if that's like a locational thing where the birds are just crazy in Gettysburg or what, but I have heard it.
I've never heard the birds.
I have heard it. Oh yeah, there's a bridge there that after nightfall we've actually heard it's pretty alive. There's birds
still need
going.
to visit that bridge.
Yeah, you got to go with us next time we go down there, Jeff.
I know. Hopefully soon.
And somebody was recording as he's doing this, and the birds are chirping. And when they went to play it back, you still hear the birds chirping, but then it also sounds like a choir of angels is like the best thing I can say. It was just like singing and stuff. And it's just, the whole group was around, so there was like, nobody was talking because we were listening to Chris explaining what was happening, that he was seeing the soldiers, going to heaven, going towards the light.
Oh, wow.
And
I'm a big Tolkien fan. It kind of reminds me of like, when Frodo and Sam see the elves wandering through the woods here, doesn't it? Right? Like,
yeah, and when we played it back, it was like in surround sound too.
Oh, that's
it
crazy.
wasn't just like
it was all
coming
around,
off of just like a recording or something. It was like, so but you can only hear from it. So it was weird.
Did he connect the lights, like the lights to the Fae? Was it like direct? Like I know you mentioned Will-O-Wisp before. You kind of like I'd like to know a little bit more about that, a little bit more about what he said, because it's something I'm very interested in.
Yeah, so he was saying that he's only come across the elementals before, and he said it's more over because he's been in Scotland and stuff. He does investigations over there. He said that's like where you've come across them the most.
Oh yeah,
over there. And he was just saying you don't want to talk to them, really, because trickster.
They're trickster,
thing.
yeah.
And so you can't always trust what their
motives are. Yeah, I get it. Yep.
So if you have a feeling that they want you to go one place, you don't want to go that place.
We have we witnessed something that was very, like you say, I'm kind of thinking elemental now, right? And Jeff wasn't there. It was me and Gabrielle and another person.
I wish I was there for that.
But we always
wasn't.
We're always dragging him for that. But afterwards, we decided to do some Estes sessions during the day. And I think I talked to you earlier.
Yeah, that was when you put the blindfold on and the headphones on, so you can't hear or see anything.
So I went with Gabrielle, and we were doing, we were getting a lot of like very pointed religious things, right? I want to do an episode about this. We just don't know how we're going to put it together because we have a mountain of audio to go through. Mm-hmm. But I started getting religious stuff. And then Jeff came, I think, a week or two later, and he started getting the same things, and we didn't even tell him.
Yeah, they never told me any of this. And then afterwards, they told me that I was repeating the same stuff they were saying.
Oh, wow.
So it got us thinking, something's a little trickstery here, and that's what got me starting thinking about like the Fae and like, because these things travel, right? Because you have people from Europe that they believed in this stuff. And if they still believe in it when they come over here, why wouldn't they bring some of that with them? I'm not talking attachment, but these things have been known to travel. So it's just very interesting to me that you're talking about this stuff, and it's just...
Yeah, it is. And again, I think there's also a creek or something that
was my next question.
that runs behind the George Spengler estate. Because he said a lot of times the elementals will be connected to the water or something like that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was trying to explain to us, like, they're not good all the time. They don't like humans, but they're willing to work because they don't want the energy of the humans that have passed away to be here. They want them gone. So that's why they're working with them to get them out so that they could not have humans here.
The little that I know about it is basically they were outcasts. They didn't start that way. They lived alongside in their own... in their own areas, they did their own thing. They kind of stayed away. But they were kind of outcasts where the humans would kind of invade on them. And, now they're hidden. You know what I mean? It's almost like they're in a hidden realm, whether they created it or not. And it's just a very weird thing to talk about.
Yeah. Well, with my dad being a pastor and stuff, I like to connect stuff, too, like with the Garden of Eden and stuff like that. Because to me, it's like a portal where we're not ever allowed to go to. So I could see that as something like where Fae, elementals,
they're
where they can go.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah, there's a portal somewhere where they can go. And that's I'm a big fan of Bigfoot.
I was just thinking that was going in my head when you were saying that.
One of my things is I think they can, Bigfoot can portal and stuff.
I agree with you on that.
I do not think it's a flesh and blood creature. I just don't, because in order for a creature, they're 8 foot tall.
Yeah.
How would that creature survive and not leave a mark on its environment? There'd be farm animals missing. It's just, to me, they blip in and they blip out. Could we use that now, or is that copyrighted, the blip? I don't know, but I like that you got that, though.
But the other thing too with Bigfoot, I've also liked that theory where they can look like another, like a bear or something, because I've heard that where people see like what they think is a bear, and all of a sudden it's standing up, but it's not walking like a bear would walk. So
that's so interesting.
Gabrielle, are you hearing this?
You might repeat that real quick on this right now.
Like my theory for Bigfoots is that they can look like another animal, like a bear, because I've heard that people have seen bears, that what they think is a bear, but they stand up, start walking around.
Yeah.
And it's a Bigfoot.
Almost like a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
sounds like.
cool.
I remember being at Phenom, where when we went to the George Spangler, there was a gentleman talking about Bigfoot too, and how he said that sometimes it's connected with they're like lights that you see in the forest or something that move and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he thinks sometimes that could be actually the portal that is bringing or using for Bigfoot
something,
to
some
come
sort
in.
of interaction with
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what they call that. Gaslight or I can't think of what
It's not ringing a bell, but I do know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
Well, the lights that we've seen, like the little swirling lights, we call them ghost lights, and light anomalies if you want to be
ghost
vague.
lights,
But it's funny because our experience, Gabrielle and our experience, we did an episode on it titled "The Church." We saw what seemed to be at first a small creature, then a large creature. We don't know if it was a bunch of critters around that were connected, but at one point we saw a dark shadow. It was upright, it looked like a bear, and then it wasn't. Then it was down on all fours. As I saw it, she thought it was coming at us.
And that's the night I wasn't there.
Oh,
that's the night Jeff wasn't there. It had antlers. It was blacker than black.
Wow. And I feel like they always rub that in my face all the time.
We do. You should have been there, Jeff. Damn it. There were three of us though that experienced it, and the three of us all we could explain it in three different ways. Like I saw it on all fours. Gab saw it up on its hind legs, and it's just. We don't know what we saw, and we're still hyper fixated on it because it's like I think we just saw something we weren't supposed to. And it ran us out too. It charged us.
Oh wow!
So yeah, but it's very similar to what you're talking about with the Bigfoot stuff. Like the lights are around it.
Yes, that place is a very odd place.
Yeah,
very different.
So you speak my language, man.
I'm fascinated by the paranormal and stuff. I love watching it on TV. And I was talking to you earlier, there was an opportunity for me to win a ghost hunt, and it was through a local radio station. I wish I knew what the radio station was. It was in Lancaster area, and I actually won. I got a call up saying, "Hey, you won our paranormal investigation." It was at the Hadleman Hadleman mansion over. It's kind of like going towards Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, but not, I don't think quite at Elizabethtown, but it's off the Susquehanna River.
Of course.
And so there was about 10 or 12 of us that won, and we were allowed to bring, well, I shouldn't say that. It was probably about 10 of us that won, and then each one of us was allowed to bring somebody with us. So then it ended up being probably about 20 people there.
Oh, cool.
Between 15 and 20 people. And then they also had two investigators with us, paranormal investigators, that were going to lead us through that have investigated there before.
There's a local group, right?
A local group in that area. And they brought some equipment that we were allowed to use and stuff, since none of us had ever done anything like this before.
What would they bring, if you don't mind me asking?
They had brought the EMF. Mm-hmm. They brought the I can't think the correct term, but it's the one where you can kind of see the thermal.
Oh, it's a thermal cam, like a FLIR,
FLIR. Yeah. So that's the one I started to use, but probably like 5 minutes after I investigated it, the battery died on it.
Yeah.
So, was it fully charged? I don't know. I don't remember looking at the battery to tell you, it was fully charged or not. But they said, that could be a sign, So, again, when I go into this stuff, I've always wanted to do investigation, but I go in not expecting anything, and I like to debunk crap. So, when right before we started, we got a picture taken of the group because the lady who runs the mansion and everything wanted to take a picture to put on Facebook, so she took a picture of the group of us. And it wasn't until later, after we investigated, that when she was going to put it on Facebook, she came back down. You gotta see this. And here the picture, the girl that was standing in front of me, you see an arm. It had to be like a little kid because it was like from where the arm is. holding her arm.
Oh wow.
And I have a picture that I showed him.
You did show me the picture. Yeah, it was
That's
wild.
crazy.
Yeah. It almost looked like a mist. It was transparent. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But during the investigation, like I said, like the thing I had died. So I was using, all I had was my tablet. So I was using one of the voice things, but I kind of didn't trust it, so I ended up just not even using it. But they had brought a speaker, like that does the different like channels and that stuff. So to pick up voices.
Oh, it was a spirit box.
Yeah, spirit box.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we were up in the room that supposedly one of the young children that had lived there, who had passed away at some point, but I don't know if it was a fire or what that was in there. So we were investigating, and apparently some of their I don't say slaves, but it probably would have been slaves at that time. Yep. She had died in a fire as well, and they said that she was either Spanish or something. So one of the people was there. I speak Spanish. Why don't we try talking?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. So they started to count, and 1 to 10, and they said, but before that, they said we're going to stop at. I can't remember. It was like numbers at 6, 7, whatever number. And so we were counting. Like, I don't speak Spanish, so I knew a couple of numbers, and then I stopped. But they stopped at 6, and they went to like 8.
Okay.
But you hear on the thing the number that we skipped.
Okay. I see. We see that.
We've done that.
We've done that.
So that was kind of cool. We're like, oh yeah. But again, I'm like, is it pre-recorded? I have all these thoughts in my head. Is it?
Well, if it's a spirit box.
But at the same time, it was somebody that wasn't connected to the investigators who brought it up.
Right.
So
yeah, that's a really cool story.
So we go to the next room. So there's this is like a back room. There's one room on one side and like a middle room, and then you go around and you go to the steps to go back down to the mansion. We go to the larger room, and the investigators decide to do the flashlight test, where yes or no question type stuff. And we're probably only 2 or 3 into it, and then there's like this humongous like cannon sound, shakes the whole house. All of us are on one side. The investigators are in the front, with the flashlight. We literally leap from one side to the other, running over one of the investigators and hurting him.
Oh my god!
Because it's like, because the direction almost sounded like it was behind the house, because the way it shook, it almost sounded like an elephant ran into the wall behind us. It was that loud. And at first we're like, well, they're talking more that this would have been more during the Revolutionary. So we're like, did they have cannons in the Revolutionary stuff? Yeah, sure. Cannons back in the Revolutionary. So that shook us all up. And so they're kind of like, okay, why don't we go to the summer house? Because there's a summer house that's behind. That would have been what was the original house while they were building the mansion.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So we go over there, and they actually don't tell us the story of what happened in the summer house. But they have us downstairs, or there's one group upstairs, because it's only 2 floors. It's not very big, the summer house. And after the one group comes down, we go up, and they start telling us about what happened up here. So there was a slave that got raped by, I don't know if it was soldiers that were there or what, if it was other people came. But she ended up jumping out the window and killing herself. And we go to leave, and there's a bed made out of like a straw mattress or hay mattress, whatever. Okay. And we didn't notice it at all, but there was sleigh bells, like you kind of put on like a horse or something. Okay, all right. We walked by it, and everybody's already walked by it. It was just me and my friend and the investigator, the last 3 people, and you hear the ringing. You hear this like bell sounding, and we didn't see it, so we didn't know. We were looking around. We take our flashlights out, we're looking, and I see the bells laying down there. I'm like, this is going to work. Because my first thought is, okay, is this a setup? Is somebody, did somebody? So, and what really even brought that to my attention more was that the investigator's like, okay, we got to go outside. This is just too weird. I'm like, you're an investigator. What the hell? Don't you want to debunk the stuff? So I'm like, no, I want to find out what happened. And same with my friend. My friend's like, yeah, because we're both like skeptic about it. And so we're like pushing down on the mattress and everything, shaking the bed, but it's a sturdy freaking bed. I mean, it wasn't doing anything to it. It wasn't until you literally picked him up and had to ring it that you heard the bell sound. So it's like, okay, that's freaky.
Have you ever seen the cat ball method? The little motion activated cat balls that light up?
Yeah.
So we use those a lot, and when they don't work, they don't work. But when they start working, holy crap, they start going off. And it's easy. You ask like yes/no questions. Hey, if this is so and so, or is anybody here willing to speak with us? Please light the ball up. Right, that's a yes. Right, you tell them light it up as a yes, and ignore us as a no. So, where I'm getting at with that is, we will every time those things go off, immediately our first thing is, oh, someone moved the floorboard. Someone's standing too close to the floorboard, because we were at the Jenny Wade house and it was happening.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah.
We would go up to that floorboard, like on either side of the ball, jump up and down, couldn't get the thing to light up. You know what I mean? So like it was good. It's on solid ground. Whether that's anything, I don't know. You know what I mean? But we go through the motions.
You never know.
You never know.
That's when like I've watched Ghost Hunters and stuff.
Yeah.
When there's multiple things happening at the same time, like say, like the cat ball's lighting up, but at the same time you're capturing something, an EVP or something.
That's when exactly.
Yes.
There are 2 or 3 things happening.
You should tell your son in story.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
With your camera.
Yeah, right. So we were in Bethlehem at the Sun Inn, and I don't know. Jody said that was my night. So, so every time I would take my phone out to take a picture, I would ask permission. Anywhere I go, I ask permission, whatever. So I would take my phone out. I'm like, I'm going to take a photo. As soon as I would take my photo, K2 meter, the REM pod, 2 K2 meters, all go off.
All at once.
Oh, wow.
And it would not stop.
We were all on airplane mode, too.
Yeah, airplane mode.
Because you got to be careful with the K2 and all that.
Yeah,
if you're not in airplane mode, it's going to interact.
So we were testing everybody's phones. Like, we tested Jody's phone, Gab's phone.
Yep.
So it would constantly just keep going up, and I would tell it to stop. As soon as I would say stop, quiet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I would take my phone out, they would all go off. Like, it knew what I was doing.
But it eventually got to a point where all you had to do was take the phone out of your pocket.
Yeah.
And it was going off, yeah.
Yeah, and then I would tell it to stop, and it would stop. And then at one point, I even said, okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to stop. I'm going to go over here. I got up and walked past between 2 tables where the equipment was. It went off.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll sit back down. I sat back down. They stopped.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we don't know how to take that. We don't know if it wanted to talk to and interact with it, or it was just pissed off at him.
But then on top of that, though, when I did my essay session, I got my chair tapped 3 times.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I felt it, and I had my chair against the wall. So no one was standing behind me, and all of a sudden I could feel like somebody's flicking my chair, and I felt like somebody was standing next to me.
There was a window behind you. There was the outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
Oh, wow.
you got literally, you could hear it. We have an episode
and we
too.
caught it on the audio recorder.
Yep. We go over that evidence in the episode, the Sun In Investigation episode. You could literally hear. Now he has the headphones on. He can't hear anything.
I can't hear no one.
So there was
But you can
weight.
feel the
I
tap.
could feel it. And so
He
what
felt
I would feel, if I do my essay sessions, if I feel anything, I call it out. And when they were hitting my chair, I would say, okay, something's hitting my chair. Like,
Yep.
Oh, wow.
It's right on. We got it all on video.
That's
So
awesome.
we got it on video. We got it on audio. Obviously, we're an audio only podcast, but you could hear it. You could hear it in the audio. Every time you hear a thwack, he responds to it. So,
Yeah.
So, like, what all equipment do you guys use when you do?
Well, Jeff over there built a REM pod.
yeah, I built the REM pod.
You're familiar with the REM pod?
Yeah.
I hate REM pods. I just see them go off constantly because radio interference. If you have walkie-talkies around
That's
it, when
true.
you're calling someone, they will go off.
Yeah, but we don't really use walkie-talkies on.
We don't use walkie-talkies. Yeah, we don't use them. We're not big enough. We don't have like a big enough team. It's just the 3 of us right now.
Was that investigation though was the most we ever had with the REM pod?
Oh, it was. Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
investigations, REM pods would just be dead. It would just
It would
sit
be
there.
either dead the whole night or like almost malfunctioning, like going off for no reason, or someone gets too close to it. Now his REM pod is not. He built it himself. It's not the $250 REM pod that you buy off like the ghost shops, right? So The antenna might not be very powerful, so you really have to get up on that.
Yeah,
thing.
you actually have to like this
gotta
close
be
to the
close
mic,
to it.
like
Okay.
yeah.
And that night, it was literally going up, lighting the circle of lights up. So basically, the closer you get to it, or the closer the
The more it
entity
lights
gets
up.
to it, the more it'll go from like, I don't remember the color sequence exactly. It'll go from like red to blue to green to, or I think red is the top one, right? So it'll go from yellow to blue to green to red.
Yep.
Depending on how close something is interacting with the antenna, right? That night, because we've had it, where it lights up one light, and then you don't get anything for the rest of the night. That night when that was going on, it's like something walked up to it and grabbed the antenna, and it's just
All the lights were lit
Oh,
up.
yeah.
It was just screaming. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
just. But yeah, it was a very odd night. Like
Yeah.
I never experienced anything like that on any investigation.
Yeah, because when we did the investigation, like I said, they had like a few of the EMF.
K2 meter.
Yeah, K2 meters.
Yeah, it's almost not a wand, but it's like a little square rectangular guy, and it bounces from yellow up to red. Same thing, right? Red is
I don't remember them having like a REM pod at all.
yeah.
I know that, like I said, I used the thermal or
The FLIR.
that thing. Like
the
I
FLIR,
said,
yeah.
that died in like 5 minutes of us being there. So so most of it was just that I forget the
No,
name.
that's fine.
The speaker that
The ghost box. The ghost box. They call it a ghost box or a
Spirit
spirit
box.
box.
Spirit box,
Yeah.
that and the light thing. And the light thing, like we were getting what seemed like answers and stuff when we were
Yeah.
asking questions and stuff. But then when that sound of a cannon going off, and
Yeah,
scared
that's
the crap
crazy,
of us,
yeah.
that was kind of like the end of that whole session.
And did you guys try to debunk that at all? The cannon?
We tried like pounding,
Yeah.
but it shook the whole house. So like, my thought was like, because in Lancaster there's a lot of quarries, but it being like late at night, like midnight,
Oh,
you're not going to be like dynamite
Yeah.
going off. Or
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that. And one of the other things too that they said is where the mansion is located, it used to be like either an Indian burial site or like Indians had lived there and stuff. So because they said they get chanting and stuff, but it's nothing like. It wasn't a drum or anything.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was loud. Boom.
You sure you didn't listen to the podcast? We had a guy come on that he saw Native American shadow figures in the middle of a field by a barn, and he talked about they were drumming and marching around the
Well,
field.
they said one of the things they said. Some of the stuff they've captured the investigators before was like chanting, like
Yeah.
a drum ceremony, things like that. So because that was one of the things that you might capture some of that stuff. Because that's the other thing had. One of those speakers is kind of like clear, and you can angle it at something to hear
a
better.
parabolic speaker.
Yeah.
okay,
we
yeah.
actually have one. It's a kid's toy. we always forget that we have it. We don't use it, and I figured out how to get it. It works. There's an output. So I was like, if I get the right cable here, I bet you could hook this up to a hand recorder, right? So we could record directly to the recorder, because the thing is a kid's toy. It only has a built-in 16 megabytes of memory, and you record and you listen, and then once it fills up, it just overwrites itself. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I figured out how to hook it up to the hand recorder, and we haven't frickin' used it yet. Every time we go out, we always forget it.
Well, I did get to use that, but I didn't capture anything. It was like
Right.
just hear regular night noises
Right,
and stuff
right.
with it. So
That's the problem when you're using those really sensitive microphones. You could pick up an animal that you don't know. Did you ever hear a fox?
yeah,
They're wild.
we actually have foxes in downtown with us.
Oh yeah.
Well, the problem is you have a lot of places where they're building apartments and stuff, so you're taking away their habitat. So
Right.
you're finding more animals going into towns and stuff where it's not where they're supposed to be, unfortunately.
How about beavers? You ever hear beavers?
I have a beaver underneath my. No, I have a groundhog underneath my shed.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's not going to sound like. No, I haven't heard of beaver. though.
Beavers chatter.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know much about them, but chewing on the wood, obviously, that's going to make noise, right? And when but they're busy, and they're always talking back and forth. And when they talk, they chatter. So if you have a parabolic microphone like that,
Yeah.
the one bridge in Gettysburg, right? The what do they call it? Eisenhower Bridge. There's beavers there, and we didn't know that until after our third trip to that bridge. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's what that is,
what it
because
sounds
we never said it was paranormal. We just said you know, like it was, you know, that's a weird sound. We've never heard that before. So
Yeah.
you know, that could happen when you're using those high-powered microphones.
So we have a lot of squirrels and stuff. So I notice like in the morning they're like talking, chittering and stuff to them. So I play a lot of D&D.
Okay.
And one of my characters I wanted to play was a bird. So one of the things I do is like I listen to a lot of bird calls.
Oh, do you really?
Because
Yeah.
when we were going to do the campaign, I wanted them to give like warning signs and stuff. So it's interesting listening to animals. And one of my favorite old black and white movies is The Screaming Skull. A lot of people hate it.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things is like you hear like somebody screaming, and here it was peacocks.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when peacocks make the
yeah.
noise, it sounds like
Yeah,
somebody
that-
screaming. So
yeah.
like when you say that beaver, it's like you when investigating and stuff, you need to debunk.
You do.
anything.
No, you have to.
make sure is that is it an animal and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so going back to your question, the equipment that we have, I'm very old school. I love my hand recorder. I love doing EVPs. And you don't always get something
No, you don't.
everywhere you go. But we've had some really clear ones that were fucking fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
we went to a place in Pike County, again, we have another episode on this, and we didn't have much activity the whole night. And then
Yeah.
finally at the end of the night, sometimes you just got to trust your gut, by the way. I was fascinated with the stairs. I was like, there's something about those stairs. We got to investigate the stairs. It's an old mansion, so it's like a big open stairway that goes up and around, right? It was probably 10, 12 feet wide, something like that, right? And we went over to the banister at the bottom of the stairs and said, all right, we'll start here, work our way up. Put the recorder down, hit record, started talking to ourselves in the dark like we do. And I asked, can you tell us your name at one point? And this is only like a 3-minute recording. We'd do 3-4 minutes at a time, and then we'd listen back to it to see if we get anything. We had an old-ass RCA recorder. And when I asked if it could tell me its name, it says,
Yeah.
whispers.
Yeah.
Like it walked right up to that recorder and did it. And none of us were near the recorder. It's an old recorder. It can't pick up sounds from across the room or anything like that. And it literally whispered what we thought was Tim into the recorder.
Oh wow.
So we were like, all right, we're gonna focus on the stairs now, And
Yeah.
we went up at the top of the stairs, and we got another recording. We present them in the episode. That's what we try to do. We try to present evidence where we can, and it's not. We're not a video podcast, so we don't have a lot of visual stuff. So stuff like the Estes method and EVPs, that lends really well to the show. We could show that off, air quotes, right? Show it off to our listeners. So. And then the other things we have, other than the recorders, we have Spirit Box, right? Which is a modified radio that you put it on AM, FM, and then you could set the milliseconds between sweeps, and it'll go forward or backwards depending on what you tell it to do. And we'll use that sometimes. We'll play it out loud. It has a little built-in speaker. We also have a portable speaker we can put on to get the volume up a little bit, and we'll listen to that. Now a lot of times with that, it's just us sitting around in a circle. Did it say this? Did it say that? Oh, it said Michael. No, I don't think I heard Michael. I heard something. And it turns into this debate. So you just have the Spirit Box going for 15 minutes where you're just debating back and forth on what it's saying. And that's where the Estes method lends really, really well
Yeah, it does.
to using the Spirit Box, because you're isolating that person now. You only have one person listening. They're saying what they think they're hearing, right? Mm-hmm. And the other people are asking questions. Now they're isolated from the questioner. And you get some really good responses sometimes. I don't understand how it works.
Yeah, I don't understand how it works either. But sometimes it's crazy because sometimes the person could be asking that question, and that person that's responding is ready answering that question before the person's actually done asking the question. It's crazy.
It's like there's some time displacement stuff going on there. It's like they know what's being asked.
Yeah, it's very weird.
I've seen that like on Kindred Spirits with Amy and
Yeah.
They do a lot, and then they'll connect with like Chip Coffee or something on there.
Oh, yeah.
He'll say like, and they haven't told him what's happened, and they combine all that stuff together.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
I've seen that before. It's really weird how they get the answers from the questions when they're in totally different rooms and they combine it all together. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, we haven't done the separate room thing yet. We really should do that. But I will, a lot of times when I'm under the headphones, right, with the blindfold on, I'll be calling stuff out that's going on around the room. I have no idea how, like I said, I have no idea how that works because I can't, my senses are cut off. My ears are getting flooded with the radio.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see anything, and I'm calling out stuff that's going on around us.
Do you, like, when he has it on, is anybody asking, like, to tap him on the shoulder or anything like to see if there's, like, something there? And it's like, oh, I just felt something, or...
We've had that. Jeff has that a lot. It seems like Jeff gets a lot of interaction.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Like, it's just like I'll feel like there's something by me usually, and it's just odd. Like we did an investigation where I felt something to my left, and then as soon as I said I felt something to my left, we heard a bang, like on the floor. But no, I didn't hear it. No one else heard it. I had the headphones on, but we caught it on recorder.
Oh yeah.
But I actually felt like something was to my left of me.
And then, like you said, we had to debunk it right away. So what did we do? We got the recorder out. We started recording, and we had people tapping with their knuckles.
Tap the table, tap the floor.
Tap the table, tap the floor. Get something heavy and hit the floor, and that when we hit the floor heavy, that's what it matched, and that was weird.
The odd part is that I was saying something about the basement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was saying like open the basement door, like
Yeah.
And that's when you heard, like, a...
And that's what I heard. I was like, oh, something's standing to the left of me, and that's when I heard, like, I hear it, but like we caught it on the
Yeah, it was asking us to open the basement door, almost like it was asking to let it in, like, hey, invite me in. And Gabrielle, thank God she's here with us, right? Because she's like, I don't really feel that. I don't feel that we should do that. This isn't our house. We don't want to let something in.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you might be letting.
You never know. You know what I mean? So it just seemed a little trickstery. It seemed a little... I don't want to say... It wasn't negative. You know what I mean?
Even with this place, even she called out the name Edward.
Yeah.
And upstairs in the one bedroom, the house is being worked on. On the wall, there was written Edward. Someone
not
from
only Edward, it was like Edward M. And then we actually got a name. We got a last name too that night.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So the walls were technically they were painted over, but they were painted over wallpaper. So the room was being redone.
Yeah.
And there's writings on the wall from like previous families.
Yes, as they did.
So when you do an investigation, do you look for the history before or after? Do you like to go in with...
It's 100% Gabrielle, yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
She's the person that does all the research. She goes, looking up all this stuff. Yeah.
See, because like when we went to the Hadelman, I didn't want to know
I know
anything,
exactly, yep. I know where you're going with it.
Because I like, if we were going to catch anything, I didn't want to know about it. Now, they did give us some history of it when we first got there and stuff.
You don't want to go into it that bias.
Yeah, like saying, "Oh, is this person here?" So no, like so if somebody's going to say their name, then we can find out later on.
See, that's not my style either. Like, if I get the history, I don't like to go in and call out certain names and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's me personally. That's not my style. I'm kind of like I go into it. I'm kind of like float into it and just I riff off it and see what's there.
That's the best way to do stuff. Like I don't want to know anything about it. Like
Yeah.
So.
And from what I heard from other people who've done the investigation, sometimes it's just when you're just talking, even just amongst the group that's investigating, is when they come across stuff.
Dude, you are speaking my language, man. You really are. We did. Gabrielle and I went to the. I don't know if you're familiar with the Trolley Museum.
Yeah, it's up
down here in Scranton.
No.
It's a train museum.
It's not the train museum.
Well, it's a train museum and a trolley museum.
No, one's federal and one's state. Or one's federal, one's county, maybe.
I didn't know that.
The trolley museum is not closed now, so that's not the federal one, right? So you can go visit.
Oh, because of
today
the government being shut down.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
So we were there, and we went with the local group that we go with a lot, and they do public investigations. And we noticed that when the one room upstairs, when we started talking about trolleys, the cat balls would go off. So we were like, we were having a casual conversation, and someone just dropped the trolley name because we were there, and I'm like, all right, so are they interacting because we're having a casual conversation amongst ourselves, or is it because we're talking, we're talking about trolleys? So every time we would drop the name trolley, the cat ball would light up. but we were just having a conversation, normal conversation in between. So like, it's almost like you have to prime the atmosphere sometimes for this stuff. You know, you want to make it fun. You want to make it.
You're talking their language or something.
You want to make them interact. You want to make them feel comfortable. So, we're just a bunch of people talking here, and you know, if you want to chime in. And,
because my thought is, do they know that they're dead? Is it residual or what? You know, so it's like, because you could be asking something, if it's residual, you're not going to get an answer.
Yeah, you're not going to get anything.
No, exactly. But you're going to get some. You're going to get. Sometimes that residual stuff is a little spooky, right? It really is, because that's where you get like some of the history sometimes, and you're like, wow, I cannot believe I got that. But no direct interaction, and it's the thing. What is a ghost exactly? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Is it something that's left over? Is it something interacting with you? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, that's one of the things I remember. I don't know what TV show it was or anything, but it's something that happened in Gettysburg where they it was like, I guess, two women went into an elevator and they went down, the doors open, and they were like in surgical, like during the Civil War. So my thing is there I don't want to say portal, but say that was happening, but say you were back in the Civil War, do you see two women do you see two women walking in? Is it something like a time?
That's the thing. What is it? Is it some people talking about being like a recording on the land and stuff like that?
But what would happen if you were actually back in that time? Do you see two women in weird-looking clothes,
right? Like there's a time
through
slip,
the wall or something? Yeah, like a time slip.
Yeah, so, and was that hotel there at that time? Maybe that was a sidewalk.
It could have been.
Yeah, it's like, so is it sometimes, are we seeing ghosts or are we seing a time slip?
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting.
I mean, there's no way to figure that out.
No, there's no.
But I just wonder that when you hear somebody say, I walked into a building and there's this, but this not supposed to exist here.
Well, there are stories where they have, like, they added onto the building. And there's stories where you'll see the spirit in the one room, but they never come to the newer.
Or they walk through a wall, and it's like, why would they do that?
It's like they can't come to that new edition because it's like they're just.
Maybe at one point there was a door or something there.
Yeah. Now we're talking ghost rules now. How does it work, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's like that show Ghost. Did you ever see Ghosts? There's a BBC version of Ghosts, and then there's the...
Yeah. When they take over the house, one of the people, like, buy the house,
yes,
and then all the ghosts live in it. Yeah, yep, I know what you mean.
I'm like, how do these ghost rules work? Like, that doesn't make sense. How does it work? There's also an animated cartoon on Netflix now that's fantastic. I can't remember the name of it, but...
It's a new one, too.
Yep.
When you're working on a house, and you start doing stuff to the house, and the ghost they're not happy with it. Like...
What are you doing?
I don't want.
Well, see, now you're talking now about them being conscious, though. Now you're saying that they're interactive, they're conscious, they're there and willing to interact with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're just like changing the room, like where you're staying at, like,
well, could that be then where sometimes they say energy is in like a building or something? Mm-hmm. Is it because you're tearing down that wall, you're releasing the energy that's maybe causing something to happen that didn't happen?
And I heard the other side of that too, where energy is persistent. So when someone passes, their energy sticks around in their favorite places. You know what I mean? So I don't see that as being an interactive sort of thing, but I could see, like you were saying before, little time slips, little blips where these things come through and people experiencing them. I could see something like that happen. You know, so it's interesting.
And then, to go with that, the only other experience I had was I was at Pennhurst, and I was there for Paracon, but it was like 110 degrees. Like, they were even telling people not to come out, so it was dead. So I'm like, I'm gonna go over to the Mayflower and just check it out, just to walk through it, because it's like also like a lot of the history, like the different items and stuff that they have there when it was there. So I go up to the second floor. There's nobody else up there, but it's different. I got a different feeling. It wasn't like from the heat, because it was already kind of oppressive from the heat.
Right.
But this was oppressive, like depression.
You felt it more in your head, sort of.
It was just like a weight and everything to it. So, okay. It was, like, almost going back to the graveyard type thing, feeling of, why are you here? You shouldn't be here type of feeling. Mm-hmm. So that's...
Yeah. I mean, there are places that we've been on, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like Pikes County.
Yeah.
Where for some odd reason, I never felt this, and I know Gab started feeling this. That like, I started getting upset. I started getting like angry, and I didn't want to be there anymore. Like, I just wanted to leave the place. Like, I never felt that either until Pikes County.
But different than other places too, right?
Yeah.
Every place feels different.
Every place is different, and
honestly.
I just got to the point where I was so irritable. Like, I didn't want to be bothered. I wanted to leave. I just wanted to go home.
But going back to your point, like when you feel that, like, oh, it's time to leave, I think that's maybe something telling you it's probably a good idea to say, respectfully, thank you for, spending time with me and whatnot, but I'm going to honor your wishes and I'm going to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's when I found out a lot of the history, too, of Pennhurst. And then you feel, like, when you do, like, the haunted attraction part to it, I'm never going to go there for the haunted attraction because I respect what happened to the people there.
Yes.
That I go to when they have the Paracon convention, because that's when you have people that had lived at Pennhurst and they tell their story stuff, and that's what I don't want to say enjoy hearing, but I respect what happened to them, and some of them actually had good experiences when they lived at Pennhurst. But you also learn about how Hitler ran his concentration camps was from how we ran like Pennhurst and other asylums and stuff, and it kind of gives you, oh my God, what did we do?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, sorry, I had to jump in because I have to. As a social worker, there's certain places that I won't go because I won't exploit the people based on what's happened to them at these locations. And I'm trying to find a way to get to places like that, to do it ethically. And I just haven't found that way yet to do something like Pennhurst.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
My daughter, she's graduating now, so she's in college. But at the time, she was in charge of a club, and I said, if there's one place you want to go, because it was on diversity and stuff, her club she's in, and I said, if there's one place that you should go, one, you need to watch the video about Pennhurst. That there was a news station that did it back in the 80s, and that's what kind of
the woman who did the expose. She went in and she had like basically exposed a lot of the things that had been going on in Pennhurst. I can't remember her name, but she did a lot to kind of like change things that were going on within Pennhurst.
Right. So I tell them, you need to watch that, and then if you go to Pennhurst, you take the historic tour to find out what happened there. And that's what I want people, if they go to those places, to look at the historical part. Don't go there to investigate, because I didn't go to visit. Yeah, I was selling stuff there, but once I heard the story, the reason for it, I tell people, go there, not for the haunted attraction, but go there to learn what we did to people.
Yeah.
And don't ever let that happen again.
Yeah. Yep, got to learn from history.
Yep.
See, that's why we have Gabrielle around. That's why she started this whole thing, because she is our history person.
Our history buff.
Yeah.
And she was out here mingling and handing out candy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've written papers in when I was getting my master's degree on what they did to people at Pennhurst. Like,
Yeah.
I've done presentations on it.
She always found a way to make her papers paranormal. Connect it somehow, yeah. Yeah, she did a Lizzie Borden paper in college.
Oh, wow. So what was your take on Lizzie Borden? Do you think that something possessed her, or do you think it was just...
I think Lizzie's innocent, personally, and I think that her uncle is the one who probably committed the murders.
Oh, okay.
Just based on like all the evidence and things that happened. He's just a really weird character in the story, and he doesn't really fit in. But he showed up anyway, and then he left just as quickly as he showed up. So
was that wasn't there? Lizzie had another relative that killed kids or something in a well or something.
Historically, yeah, they had a relative who lived, I think it was in the house next door. It was very nearby. And she had 2 children, and she tried to drown them in the well, and then she took her own life. And they try to link that to what happened with Lizzie and say there was some kind of like demonic possession like within the family line and things. But I mean, tragedies happen, especially when nobody is addressing people's mental health issues after they're having children and probably have postpartum depression at that time.
Now, just to tie this in a little bit, because I work at a bookstore and everything, one of my very first book I ever read was The Scarlet Letter.
Okay.
And that takes place up at Falls, I can't remember the town, where Lizzie Borden and everything is. But somebody just wrote a book about how The Scarlet Letter was written. And also ties it in with everything that happened with Liz Borden and everything. What's it called? It's They'll All Bow Down, I think is what it's called. So it was a person who was at, because Scarlet Letter is actually based on an actual event where a pastor had killed somebody because they became pregnant. So and it's how this lady did. It was almost like a ghostwriting where the original investigation that was done at that time, and then a new investigation on it, because she felt that the original journalist who did an investigation only looked at one side of the investigation. So she wanted to look at both sides, but she also tied some parts of it into Borden's because they were a big family up in that area. And
That might be a book for you.
Yeah. It was just really interesting.
Well, Neil,
thank you so much for...
thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming on.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, your stories are great.
Yeah, this is awesome. We appreciate this.
Well, to me, they're not stories. It's just stuff that happened to me.
That you experienced in your life.
Yeah. Can't explain it. Is it paranormal? I don't know, but I will never forget what happened to me.
Awesome. Thanks again for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
And that wraps up our interview with Neil. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know I did.
Yeah, it was great.
So, Gabrielle, it's that time again.
So where can everybody find us?
Oh, it's my turn this time, huh?
Yeah.
Well, our listeners could go to podcastoftheparanormal.com.
Yep.
It's all one word, podcastoftheparanormal.com. So there we'll have all of our episodes, links to all the different places that we stream the podcast to, our social media, email. Is there anything else I'm forgetting?
You can find our contact form there.
Oh, that's important, yeah.
If you're interested in being a guest on the show or just want to reach out, if you want us to come investigate your house, we'd love to do that. Yeah, reach out if you have stories. You don't have to come on the podcast. We could read them off.
Yeah.
We could keep you anonymous. Whatever you're comfortable with, we can work with you.
There is one thing that we're really interested in lately. You know what that is?
What is that?
Antlered shadow creatures in the woods.
Yeah, if you have had an experience in a wooded area, you saw a shadow figure, has antlers, definitely let us know. Reach out, social media, our contact form online.
And of course, you're referring to our episode, The Church.
Yes.
So you could go ahead and listen to that. If you have a similar experience, we would love to hear about it. We haven't really talked to anybody that's had, well, we've talked to people that have had similar experiences, but not the same experience with the same type of entity.
Right.
So we're really, really excited to hear listener stories if you have anything that kind of matches our description.
Yeah. And we're definitely going to have more episodes coming out about that location too.
Yeah, when we could figure out how to put that together.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of evidence to go through.
It is.
So might not be as soon as I want it to be, but
that's okay.
All right.
Thanks for listening, everybody.